What's up guys, so today you join me from the driver's seat of a 2007 Fiat Punto T-Jet 1.4 Turbo. Now before this video starts, I have to show you guys these awesome carbon fibre sunglasses that the guys at Futurewear have sent down for me for this shoot. Their social media links and their website are on the screen right now, so huge thank you to the guys at Futurewear for sending those down. Now we have an awesome car to play with today. This is a 1.4 turbocharged T-Jet Fiat Punto. Now this one is actually producing 191 brake horsepower, forged internals, bigger VL38 turbocharger on it. It has a stage 4 sand speed map. It's got a stage 1 clutch, forged air intake, custom power flow exhaust system, 15mm lowering springs all round. Now this one, I am very apprehensive to this one because I have never driven a Fiat Punto of this era, let alone one with 100, well nearly 200 brake horsepower on it. Now, first impressions, this being the highest spec T-Jet that you could buy, Grand Punto that you could buy. It has the leather interior, it has the electrical bolster supported driver's seat, but the first thing, it makes the loudest turbocharger whistle suction noise I have heard in ages. Huge sort of level of turbo whistle, even with a little bit of a dab of the throttle there. Now from the factory these come with, you know, around 125 brake horsepower. This one closer to the 200 mark. It has a lot to offer, let's be honest. Now, yes, it is forged. Yes, it has a big turbo on it. It has a front mounted intercooler, but some people might say only 200 brake horsepower. What you've got to realise straight away is the rest of these cars, the gearboxes, the clutches, can't quite cope with the standard power. Horror stories about, you know, gearboxes and clutches going, you know, in standard cars, they're relatively, I'm going to say, chocolatey. That is the reality. They are chocolate gearboxes, they are chocolate clutches. So this one has uprated gearbox and an uprated stage 1 clutch, which can sort of cope with the power. And there is a bloody lot of power on tap. Now Drew, the owner of this car, has reassured me that everything that needed to be done to put this car up to that magical nearly 200 brake horsepower has been done. So it's, the reliability is there now, let's just say that. The reliability is there after the parts have been changed. Now, driving sensation. Now, where I'm sat in the car, little pop from the exhaust there. Where I'm sat in the car, it's comfortable. The seats are the ones you would want to buy. I'm, you know, suggesting that if you're going to buy one of these, get the one with the leather seats. Very comfortable. Got an armrest as well. Big shout out to armrests. Now, position of the steering wheel. It's a little bit funny. The steering wheel's quite large for the car, I think. You know, your hands are on the steering wheel there, and I seem to be protruding onto the center console with this hand. So steering wheel quite big. Vision out the front of it, it's got quite a large windscreen on these and they go quite far up, so your perception around the car is very good. So for the younger driver, you're going to be able to see right around the car. It's got little pocket windows there and there. The back window, again, a little bit smaller than it should be, I think, but you can still see right around you. The rear pillar there is quite big for reversing, but that's the standard Punto. This one obviously offering a damn sight more brake horsepower from the factory, you know, turbocharged engine. I think this one is something that is quite awesome in a way. 200 brake horsepower through one of these little Puntos. It's a lot to have in this car. Now, trying to cope with all that power, it's been lowered 15mm on I-back lowering springs, and it seems to perform as it should. There's not a lot of drone in the car from the power flow exhaust system. It does perform fantastically, I think. So guys, let's have a quick look round this Fiat Punto T-Jet. Now coming up front, styling wise, you know, contemporary Fiat, don't get me wrong. This one has angel eyes in it as well, with the darker headlights coming round. It's got 15mm lowering springs, e-back ones, which are pretty good. Team dynamic wheels, sort of soft spoke with a concave on there, drilled and grooved discs at the front. Inside, full leather interior, which is very comfortable. You can get more than enough people in the back as well. Dash, so, you know, Fiat vibes. Steering wheel's quite big for these cars, but you do have, you know, the contrasting white gauges there. Boost gauge just at the top as well. Coming round the back, rear lights at the top of the back of these cars. They do look very good. You know, these are quite fat, I think, especially around these sort of parts. They, you know, they've got quite a sort of broad feel to them, especially when they are lowered. We've also got the power flow exhaust system just down there. Sounds really good. But yeah, awesome little car. It's very impressive how it drives. And again, budget wise, if you're in your early teens, maybe early 20s, this is probably a good shout to go and drive and have a look at. Right, so boosting first, right round to about 6.5, getting up to 6.5 and 60 mile an hour. So, you know, it is a hot hatch. This is a hot hatch. My biggest thing is, though, I've never really seen these. I don't see them anywhere. Obviously, I think the main competitor, I'm going to say it might be the Fiesta ST. It might be, but I don't think it's in the same sort of realms of people wanting them, and that's the want for these. I don't see people wanting them, which to me means that, you know, reliability may be an issue. You know, if you're going to look out for, make sure the gearbox and clutch are good. But if you do get a good one where people have spent the money, someone spent so much money on this car at some point in its life. I think it was the first owner, and they've seemed to have, you know, done their homework, done their research, and got the right parts to make sure that this car has longevity. And I don't think the Punto name seems to come with a lot of longevity in it. This one has actually been running this setup, pretty much a stage 4 map, for around 6 years, and nothing's gone wrong. So the aftermarket parts have really improved this car. Okay, from the factory you might get, you know, the gearbox going and this and that going, but I think if you're willing to put a bit more power through these, you're willing to find the right parts, the right mounts, the right this, the right that, you're going to be onto a winner. Price point. Let's talk about the price of these cars. They are hilariously cheap, like hilariously cheap. 57 plate, this one will stand you in at 1,500 quid. The biggest thing to note about this car is that Drew, the owner, had a 1.2 version of this car as his first car, this being his second car. And he was able to get all of this car, all of the forged everything, exhaust system, everything, for £200 a year more on his insurance than his 1.2. So work that out. £200 stands you in, and you get twice the brake horsepower, a lot more car, and in reality you can pick one up that is modified like this one for next to nothing. So reality is, if you're gonna get one of these and you want to go and spend your money on one of these, go and find the right one, the one that has been looked after. Someone's really, you know, done their research about what to put in the car if they want to run more boost. God, bloody goes. I'm genuinely impressed with this car. It just got such a good sort of feel to it. It's very comfortable. It's very, what's the word? It doesn't feel like a Fiat. The insides and the feel of the materials and stuff feels like a Fiat, but the drive has changed, and that's the biggest thing. The drive has completely changed on this car. I think that's probably why I like it so much. The whole package, right? The whole package. Let's talk about the whole package. The actual sound of that boost, it's very on point. If you want something that's turbocharged, and you want to hear the turbo, this is probably the car for you. Package, I think you're onto a winner. You can still get people in the back, even with my driving position. It's very comfortable in here. It's airy as well. The ceiling, you know, the actual roof of the car is quite high. So you know, if you are a taller lad, you're going to be able to get into this car very easily. Aftermarket parts. Let's talk about aftermarket parts. I don't think you're going to be as able to find aftermarket stuff as you are in, you know, the Ford scene or, you know, any other scene like that. These I don't see a big following for. I can see why you would definitely buy one, but I don't see there being a following for them. I don't see them around. I've never really seen them around. But on that note, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for Futurewear for sending down these sunglasses. Make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section. Tell me, what do you think of this car? What else would you like to know about these cars on these one take reviews? And as I select second gear, I'd like to thank you all for watching.